This week in gaming, Doom's back and drawing a crowd, but why aren't people actually buying it? People got their hands on the Switch too early, but can't play it, and a classic Star Wars shooter is suddenly topping the charts again. I'm your host Chiblee, and this is GameScope Weekly, focused coverage of the games industry, and we've got the details, the context, and everything in between. Here's what's making the headlines. Alright, first up, Doom the Dark Ages has reached 3 million players, but here's the twist, less than 1 million copies have actually been sold. In a post on X, Bethesda announced the game has reached a whopping 3 million users since its launch. That seems like a pretty good number, yeah? And it is, but ever since it became popular to market a game by its success amongst players, studios have been finding ways to try and skew the numbers a bit. According to Alinea Analytics, the majority of players are actually accessing the game through Xbox Game Pass, with 2.2 million users playing via the subscription service. That leaves only 800,000 people actually buying the title on PlayStation and Xbox, which is still a pretty good number. However, this raises questions about the game's commercial success and the impact of subscription models on traditional sales figures. While Game Pass offers accessibility, it also challenges the conventional metrics of a game's success. Despite the game's advanced graphics powered by DLSS 4 and ray tracing, some fans feel it doesn't capture the game's excitement as previous entries like Doom Eternal. The reliance on Game Pass for player numbers might indicate a shift in how games are consumed, but it also brings into question the sustainability of those models. What's your thoughts here? Ultimately, I think Game Pass is a great tool if you're gaming on a budget. I guess I just take issue when studios try and make it look like the game is a commercial success when it might be a little more complicated than that. Either way, I got Doom the Dark Ages on the backlog and I'll be catching up playing it later this year. Next up, the Nintendo Switch 2 is set to launch on June 5th, but some users have already gotten their hands on the console. Early reports indicate that the system is actually locked until a day one update is available, rendering it unusable out of the box. This reliance on a mandatory update raises concerns about digital ownership and the longevity of the console's functionality. Here's the thing people are concerned about. If the Switch 2 comes locked until the day one patch, what's stopping Nintendo from locking games or consoles in the future? Especially with the introduction of game key cards, where physical game purchases require a digital download. This just further blurs the lines between physical and digital media, and ultimately it feels like gamers lose some autonomy here. These developments suggest a shift towards a more controlled digital ecosystem, prompting discussions about consumer rights and preservation. Nintendo has also implemented measures to combat scalping, such as partnering with Japanese retailers to remove fraudulent listings and restricting pre-orders to active users with significant playtime. It's hard to imagine that the Switch 2 drops in just a week. Are you going to be picking it up on launch day? Personally, I think I'm going to hold off until the holiday season and hopefully snag a good Christmas deal. But times are tough right now, and I could see initial sales numbers not performing well. But who knows, only time can tell. And our last story of the day goes to Star Wars. Battlefront 2 is experiencing a remarkable resurgence on Steam, breaking its concurrent player record with over 18,600 players. Despite its rocky launch in 2017, the game has steadily improved, and recent interest has been fueled by its inclusion in sales and the success of Andor. Battlefront 2 has some of the prettiest looking maps in an FPS, and has the gunplay chops to back it up. This just goes to show that ongoing support and community involvement can breathe new life into a game, even years after its release. It serves as a testament to the potential longevity of well-supported titles in the gaming industry. I actually never played Battlefront 2 when it first came out, mainly because I was just into other games at the time. But I was chatting with a buddy and I think I'm actually going to pick it up on Steam and give it a try. So I'll make sure to report back next week if I like it or not. Alright, and that's a wrap on this week's biggest gaming stories. What's your thoughts on Doom the Dark Ages sales figures? The Switch 2 seems to be heading towards an inevitable digital direction. And do you plan on revisiting Battlefront 2? Let us know down below. Thanks for tuning into GameScope Weekly, where we bring you some of the biggest stories in gaming every single week. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on the latest in gaming news. We'll see you next week.